And welcome to Call Me Oz Live. How are you guys doing on this windy Wednesday afternoon? That was actually like a tongue twister. I was trying to say it perfectly, but it was really rough. Yeah, so it's been a little windy. That just tells us, of course, that it is springtime in New Mexico, right? That's okay. It's all good. Tonight, our special guest is Robert Biggs. He is the owner of Liberty Tax Service over on Eubank Boulevard. He is also an advertising sponsor of CallMeOz.net. We're going to be chatting with him in just a little bit. Probably has some good ideas for you. He could probably help you if you need to. We're going to talk about the 9 venues that I was at last week. We're going to talk about the 4 venues that I'm at this week. Yeah, I said 4. That's it. Just 4 venues, if you can believe that. On the website, going to show you the magic shows, the comedy shows, the live music, and the Call Me Oz merchandise page. Also, where you can go to watch a stand-up comedy show, magic show, and live music on a Thursday night with no cover charge. A Los Lunas venue that has added Tuesday nights to their karaoke, a karaoke competition that is giving away $1,500 in cash. A business-to-business networking event this month with comedians, magician, and acoustic guitarists. A West Side venue that is changing their nights and times. The New Mexico State Fair Call Me Oz Karaoke Showcase and where it stands. A new downtown family-friendly karaoke venue on Friday nights. And a Los Lunas venue that's ready to kick off their live music on the patio. That's another sign that spring is here and summer is coming. Our latest sponsors, and of course, a St. Patty Day joke for you guys. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Yeah. Okay.
And welcome back to Call Me Oz Live. I've got the man right here, Rob Biggs.
Hey there.
Do you go by Rob or Robert?
Rob is fine.
Rob is good. So this is Rob Biggs. He is the owner of Liberty Tax Service. The location is on Eubank Boulevard. He is doing some advertising with us this season. We thank you very much for that. We appreciate your support.
You're very welcome.
And so we're going to be chatting with him a little bit later in the show about taxes. Yes, so some of us love taxes because we get refunds.
I do love taxes.
Yes.
I don't get a refund, though.
I don't love taxes because I don't ever get a refund.
Yeah.
That's life. That's our life in the business world. It is what it is, but that's just the way it works.
That's true.
That is the way that this mill works, and it's a good thing. It is a good thing. I see it as a good thing.
I do too.
So, yeah, so we're going to chat with him a little bit more about his business, how long he's been doing this, and what got him into this, and where you plan on going with this. But first, before we do that, we're going to talk about these venues that I've been in for the last week, Rob. Do you ever do karaoke?
Not very often. My employees do.
Yes, as a matter of fact, 2 of his employees are very well known in the karaoke community. First of all, Letitia, known as Tisha, is the KJ at Fiestas on Saturday nights.
That's right.
How long's Tisha been with you?
Tisha's worked for us since 2012. She's one of our oldest employees.
Yes. So for those of you who don't know, That's Tisha, and you can see her anytime on Saturday nights over at Fiestas. And then the other employee of yours is Marcus, better known as Caveman, who hangs out at Fiestas every Friday and Saturday for I couldn't even tell you how long.
Years.
Yeah, like he's part
Years
of the
and years.
furniture over there. And he's been with you guys for how long?
8 years. I hired him my very first year in business when I was 24 and still in the Army when we hired Mark.
So there you go. So that is where, in case you're wondering, well, how in the heck did a tax service get connected with karaoke? Now you know why.
Albuquerque's a small world.
It
There's
is very small.
580 some thousand of us, and we all know each other.
I agree with that. Yes, or yeah, there's somehow or another a connection in this small town, big city thing going on
That's
here.
true.
So, so last Thursday, I had my Los Lunas Belen Day. Did some karaoke at Ribs in Los Lunas with Randy Gomez Jam Sessions. They're the venue I told you about. So they added Tuesday nights to their karaoke nights. So now they do karaoke on Tuesdays from 6 to 10, Thursdays 7 to 11, and they have just been getting killed on both nights. So if you live in the Los Lunas area, great place to do karaoke on Tuesday and Thursday. From there, I went down to Hub City Brew Company with Danielson. They do karaoke Thursdays from 7 to 11. They will be a New Mexico State Fair satellite venue where they will be sending 2 people to the state fair from there, and they start on May 30th, June 6th, June 13th, and then their audition is June 27th. You want to be in the state fair?
Yeah.
You want to sing at the fair?
Oh, I don't know about that.
Okay. You just want to be at the fair.
I'll go.
I'll send you some tickets.
That'll work.
From there, and actually even before Ribs, I was at Mariscos Altamar. They do karaoke every Thursday from 6 to 10 with Alan, Rhythm Express, and they are actually a New Mexico State Fair karaoke showcase auditioning venue as well.
That's on Coors, isn't it?
Well, no, they have 2 stores. They have a Coors store, and then they have the Los Lunas store.
Oh.
So the Los Lunas store does the karaoke, but Coors doesn't.
Oh, I see.
Yes. But it is owned by the same people. The original owner, Hector, is the dad, and they started Coors, and so their kids basically run the Los Lunas store.
You gotta love a family business.
Yeah. And this is a great family business. And from what I understand, they're actually getting ready to open another store. So,
That's wonderful.
yeah. I think his goal is he has 3 kids. He has 2 sons and 1 daughter. I think his goal is to actually have let each one of them have a store. You know. So
So it works real well.
Yeah, and they've been very, very successful. So after Hub City and Belen, I went to downtown Albuquerque. I was at Twist Nightclub with Drastic. They do karaoke every Thursday from 9 to 1:30. And then I went over and saw Baini over at Zulo's. They do karaoke every Thursday from 9 to 1:30, and they are also a New Mexico State Fair participating venue. And then on Friday, I got to see Baini again at JC's New York Pizza Department downtown. Have you had a pizza there?
I have. That place is wonderful.
Yeah. We had pizza before we did karaoke. It was amazing. Amazing. True New York style pizza. I mean, the pies are, of course, this big.
It's a great location too. It's right there on Central. It's pretty.
Yes.
They have that open air in front of it. It's good.
Yep. Have you seen it since they put the statue in?
No.
Oh, yeah.
I'll go check it out.
They just did a huge remodel. They've got a statue out there now, a Statue of Liberty,
Neat.
that kind of goes around like that, and it has their logo up on it.
Oh, I got to take a picture of that.
It is epic, yeah. So in the back room is where they do the karaoke. They have an overflow room in the back.
Right.
So yeah, we had pizza, and it was amazing. We had a great turnout that night. They do karaoke every Friday from 7 to 11, and it's family friendly.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And they are the sponsor of the 2019 New Mexico State Fair Miners Audition,
Wow.
which will be at Haynes Park in Rio Rancho. So they did an amazing job for us this year. And then Fiesta, I went to Fiestas, and Drastic is normally the KJ, but she had another gig she was doing, so I got to see Tisha.
That's great.
Friday night, yes. She was my KJ. She did my sound. She did a great job. And she thought I was joking when I told her that I was going to come in with my own microphone. Because she does Saturday nights, and so I never get to see her. I don't go out on Saturday nights. That's my night with my person. So I was in there Friday night, and I'm texting her, and I'm telling her, hey, I'm on my way. Can you put me in the rotation? Do. She's like, yeah. And I said, and make sure you have a spot on your soundboard for my microphone. She's like, what? It's like, yep, I've got my microphone. She
Brand new one.
Yeah, brand new. She did not believe me and then I walk in with a case, and I give her the part to put in there, and she was like, you were serious. Yeah, I was serious. So anyways, so I got to see Tisha Friday night. They do karaoke every Friday and Saturday from 9 to 1. And they are also a participating venue in the New Mexico State Fair Karaoke Showcase. Before that, though, I actually went to Lucky 66 Bowl with KJ Puddles, where they do karaoke every Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And they will start the New Mexico State Fair karaoke season on April the 19th, which is, did you hear that? That's like a month away.
I can't believe April 19th is a month away.
April 19th is 1 month and 1 week away.
I have a lot of work to do between here and there.
Right? I just thought about that. Deadline season for
Right.
you.
That's right. April 15th is D-Day for us.
Is D-Day for tax season, and it is the beginning of the New Mexico State Fair karaoke season.
Do you know what I do on April 16th?
Sleep.
Nothing. Exactly nothing.
You know what we do the day after the New Mexico State Fair?
Sleep.
Yep, we sleep. The whole team takes the day off because we are absolutely done.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we are done. Are we not, Larry? Larry's sitting there behind the camera like, Larry and Patty are both like, yep, after 11 days straight of the fair, we are done.
I got to compliment you on this beautiful studio, too. It's wonderful.
They do an amazing job. They just do incredible. So, yeah, so we'll start it at Lucky 66 Bowl on April 19th, and then every Friday thereafter, they're qualifying 4 people to come back on May 31st, where those 20 will come back, and then we send the first 10 off to the state fair. And there we go. What is today? Wednesday?
All day?
Okay, there's still a few hours left. So yesterday, or should I say last night, I keep hitting this microphone. I'm sorry if you guys keep hearing this.
There's a joke in there somewhere.
Tell it.
Try not to hit the mic.
Okay.
Just brush it gently.
Do you like that? I'll brush it gently.
There you go.
So last night, I was at the Downs with Seth from Camos. They do karaoke every Tuesday and Wednesday from 7 to 12. And then I went to Sidewinder, saw Drastic, and she was drastic. She's always drastic. She knows that I bring my microphone in. Like, she already has the spot all set up for me. She does. I kid you not. I walked in this time, and she was like, oh, just put it in right there. Do you have a joke for that?
I think that one stands on its own.
Okay, we'll just leave it there. So anyway, she just says, put it in right there. So I put it in right there, and I was able to sing. And so they do karaoke every Tuesday from 9 to 1:30 a.m. Good place to go. Good times. Good time. And the sound there is phenomenal. Tonight, after this show, I'm going home. Yeah, I said I'm going home. I'm not out tonight. The next time I will be out is actually tomorrow night, Thursday night. I'm going to go to Red Velvet Underground and probably hide in the corner where I can do some work, but I just want to see how our first night of Comedy Magic live Thursdays go. So this is going to be really cool, Rob.
Yeah, it sounds fun.
Yeah, we're going to have a Comedy Magic show from 7 to 9 with Raul Lorenzani will be the magician and Buck D will be the comedian. If you've never heard of Buck D, he is a funny, funny guy. Like, he's really funny. In fact, I'm going to be on his show again in 2 weeks on March 26th. Yeah. Had a good time. He has a radio talk show that he does every week called Shut Up and Talk. It's a great show. I was on it once before. Now I'm going to be back. So anyway, so Larry, you need to write that date down, just so you know. I meant to tell you about it earlier, but I forgot.
Hope you were taking notes.
Yes.
You're gonna have to repeat that.
Patty, can you write that down, please? March 26th at 8:30 p.m. Yes. We will be live in the studio at Shut Up and Talk Again. Yeah, so anyway, and then Country Joe is our acoustic guitarist.
Oh,
So he will be performing from 9:30 to 11.
cool.
So it'll be a great night of entertainment at Red Velvet Underground.
Packed night.
Huh?
A fun packed night.
Yeah, I think it'll be cool. I'm looking forward to it. And then on Friday, I will start my evening at the German Club with Karaoke Joe and Gigi. So they do karaoke every other Friday there. It's from 4 to 7. It's a happy hour karaoke.
Can you sing in English in the German club?
No, you have to sing in German, so I sing Du hast.
There we go.
Yes, the only German song I know, Du hast. No, actually, you can sing whatever you want, but I thought about singing Du hast. But I'm not sure how they would take to that. Like, they would probably come up to me and go, your accent isn't correct.
You'd either get a good reaction or a bad one.
I figured as much, yes.
Be pretty
Maybe I'll try that.
polarizing there.
I'll just try it. And then after that, I go to Red Velvet Underground with Kamikaze Karaoke, because they do karaoke every Friday from 7 to 11 there. They are family friendly, and they are a satellite auditioning venue for the New Mexico State Fair. And then from there, I will end my night at Silver Lanes with Phantom Trucker. They do karaoke every night from 9 to 1.
Really have quite the schedule.
I do. I do what I love to do, which is karaoke. How this all happened, I don't know. So I'm going to brush the microphone again as we talk about the website.
Let's take a look at this website.
Yes. So now this big giant website behind us is what you all see. And I'm going to show you a couple of pages on the website. Because of what's going on at Red Velvet Underground tomorrow, we have one button right here called Magic Shows. Go figure. If you click on that, it will take you to the Magic Show page, which at this point right now is actually looking pretty naked. We could probably use some venues in here. What do you think, Rob?
Some magic show venues, yeah.
I think so. See, we don't... I guess Red Velvet is
Venue
probably
logo
going to be
will go
the
there.
first one to go here. Oh, well, look at this.
You do life,
we do taxes. That must be you.
You know, we could do a magic show at my office on Ubic.
You could.
We could do it on April 15th or on April 1st on April Fool's Day. That could be fun.
That would be a lot of fun. Let's talk about that.
Let's do that.
Let's have a magic show at Liberty Tax Service. That'd be kind of cool.
I think it would be. We could grill some dogs outside.
Mm-hmm.
Cats.
Dogs and cats? I agree. Cats are good. They're yummy. I've had them in Mexico before.
Can't say that I've eaten cats in Mexico, but
They're delicious. Just saying. Just kidding, I never have. I have not had gato tacos, okay? That's just a joke. Okay? I don't know how they feel about it in China or Vietnam, but yeah, but I know in Mexico, no.
I read somewhere that they just made eating dog illegal in Korea.
Did they? That would be a good thing.
Although it's a traditional Korean thing, so,
Yeah.
you know. I'm sure there will be some people willing to break that law for delicious, tasty dogs.
I'm sure there's a black market for that. Yes, I'm sure there is. So the other thing going on over at Red Velvet, besides the magic show, as we talked about, is the comedy. So when you click on this, it takes you over to our comedy page, and
No
well,
laughs.
so we definitely have some venues that do some comedy. So we know Kiltcheck does it, and Red Velvet does it. Red Velvet is doing it on Thursday. They also, every Saturday, they have a comedy show with Kevin Kennedy. It's called Headliners 505. And they even do open mic on Tuesday nights. So they actually do quite a bit of comedy at Red Velvet. And then JC's New York Pizza Department does it on Saturdays from 7 to 11. So quite the comedy page there. And then we have the live music page. And when you take it to that one, these are the live music venues that are already sponsoring this page. There's quite a few of them, as you can see. And then down here, we just have all the listings for
Geeks Who Drink.
live music that we have going on around town, different places and different shows and stuff.
Man.
And, you know, if you're a band and you want to post something on here, there's a couple of ways you can do it. You can go through paid advertising, which gets a lot more views, or you can also simply list it right here and submit it, and our admin will make sure it gets put on there. We've also created this new place right here where if you want to feature your band, you just got to send us your information and we will put you up here, and the cost to that is free. But it's
Though
going
I'd say that paid advertising is always a good investment.
Oh,
As
yeah.
someone who pays for it, it shows, and
Mm-hmm.
you get new customers, you get new people. If you're trying to grow something like a band, you have to do it the organic way. You have to do it person to person, and that's the best way. Just get your name out.
Exactly, and that's what we do. We have a lot of people that come to these pages looking for something to do. So if you're listed here, there's a good chance you're going to round some people up. So the next page that I'm going to show you is one that is probably about 3 more days away from completely finishing, because it's actually in our new website.
So this is a sneak peek.
This is a sneak peek, a sneak preview. It should be done probably in 2 to 3 days, and there will be a link from the old website into this new website so you can get to it quickly and easily. But it is making available all the Call Me Oz t-shirts. So we have 3 of them that are in unisex.
That black and yellow is a good combination. It looks good.
That is actually the original Call Me Oz shirts right there.
Can't mess with success.
In fact, the first shirt that was ever made for Call Me Oz was yellow. In fact, I was wearing it last night. And on the back, it doesn't say the website because the website didn't even exist at that time. So that tells you how old that shirt literally is. I used to sing at the Brio, which used to be at the Radisson, and that was about 14 or 15 years ago is when I had that shirt made. So that shirt is like 15 years old, and I still use it today. It has no holes in it, has nothing, but so that is actually the original Call Me Oz shirts. And then we have the black on white, we have the white on black, and then we have the lady V-neck shirts, which are really cool. And then you can purchase them right here. And the way we do this so that we don't have to charge $8 for shipping, which is crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah, it's $8 to ship a shirt. And I'm thinking, okay, so these get made in Rio Rancho and you live in Albuquerque and it's going to cost you $8 to have a shirt. So what we're doing is you order by the 15th of the month, and then all the merchandise will actually be available for pickup at Red Velvet Underground on the first Tuesday of the month.
Oh, there you go. So then you just order the shirt, come pick it up. Mm-hmm. There you go.
And when you pick up your shirt, you get a choice of either a $2 drink ticket or a $5 appetizer ticket.
Oh, there you go.
So the next time you come into Red Velvet, if you can use it that night if you want to, but if you want to wait and come in on the Magic Show night on Thursday, you just bring it in, either get a $2 drink or a free appetizer.
That's fantastic.
Right? So quite the deal. So not only do you save $8 in shipping, but you get food or drink. So quite the deal.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah, and so we also have onesies for the little babies, which my granddaughter has one of those. We also have mugs. The hoodie we have to change. It's actually a different style of hoodie, but we will have the hoodies. License plates.
You need a hoodie with this blustery weather that we have.
Oh yeah, I wear my hoodie all the time. It's perfect. And then we have koozies. So, there you go. We are actually stepping up in the world, and we are actually going to have merchandise available. So that was our website tutorial.
I like it. I like it. It's a good looking website.
Got to teach everybody a little bit about these things that are going on in Call Me Oz
Right.
on a regular basis. So we've got some events going on, Rob. I'm going to
Fantastic.
tell you about them so that you can just go ahead and make plans to be there.
Sure.
So, of course, we talked about Red Velvet, the magic show. So that starts tomorrow. I am actually looking for 2 more magicians at this point, 2 more comedians at this point, and 2 more musicians at this point. So if anybody is interested in having a regular gig that happens every 4 weeks, with the pay scale depending on how much the sales are, then contact me, because I can definitely hook you up on this.
You got to drag Mark Reese into that.
Huh?
You have to drag Mark into that.
I wonder,
Caveman.
yeah, because he does comedy.
He does comedy.
I wonder if he'd be interested in having. It's been a long time since he's done a show.
You have to have him do his Trump impression.
I can imagine that.
He does a fantastic Donald Trump.
I can imagine he does Mr. Karaoke one perfect.
He does a killer Kermit the Frog too.
He actually is very good at impersonations. If you guys don't know that about Caveman, next time you see him at fiestas, just say, "Hey, do an impression."
The man's a character.
He's funny. He
He wears
really
many
is.
hats. He has all kinds of different things going.
He does writings too,
Yeah.
and he has a little. Does he still do the people who ride the bus?
Once in a while he does.
Does it? Okay, that's
It's pretty
funny.
snarky. It's good stuff.
That's on YouTube. Yeah, if you ever get a chance, you can see some funny stuff on that one.
Well, yeah, Burkeños in the wild, you know, they're bizarre people.
Mm-hmm.
He's always got somebody hilarious on his people who ride the bus.
Yes, he comes up with all kinds of crazy stuff.
You just can't ride the bus in Albuquerque for 3 hours without seeing something crazy.
Nope. No, and that's how he gets around town.
Yeah.
Is buses.
I've
Ever
been telling
since I've
him to
known
buy
him.
a car forever.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't want to deal with a car. He's like,
Yeah.
why do I want a car? That's gas, that's maintenance, that's insurance, that's no. I'll ride the bus.
But then you don't have to hang out in the bus.
Correct.
And you get across town faster.
Much faster on your own schedule, not on there. I just couldn't do it for what I do. There's no way. I'd be nice, but no way. So we have this thing called the Spring Ball coming up a week from Saturday on March 23rd. It's going to be at University Village. This is from 7 to 11 p.m.
There we go.
This is going to be a an event where businesses come together as a networking event. It's sort of like a chamber of commerce that they're putting together. It's called The Source New Mexico. Their website is thesourcenm.net. And these
I've
are
heard of
just
that.
for small local businesses to get together and do different things. So during this event, we will have some comedians and magicians and acoustic guitarists and food and drink and
Oh, I gotta
basically...
be on that.
Yeah, I'll get you the information for this. What happens is instead of paying, $500 to be a member to this,
Right.
you
Because that's the way they all are. And not to poke at the business networking industry, because it most certainly is an industry, but they all have fees.
Yeah, they all
Everything
have
has its
fees.
cost.
and a lot of times you pay that fee and you might get a page on their website
Right.
or so this is a little bit different. There is a fee, but it's not really a fee. What you do is you get 10 $50 raffle tickets for your fee, if that's what you want to call it. And you are able to give these raffle tickets to your employees or other people that you might come to the networking event. That raffle ticket puts you in the drawing for the door prize. And it gives you your first drink for free, and it covers the appetizers for the night.
That's a great deal.
All the food, yeah. It's a $50 deal, make no mistake.
Sure.
So that's kind of what it is. So this is going to be an event, like I said, going on there. You can go to their website, which is thesourcenm.net, and you can get signed up right there. They'll get you all taken care of.
That's beautiful.
So that is what they do, and we built the foundation of that website for them. So
I like
yay!
groups like that because growing a business means making connections. And over the 9 years that I've been in business, you know, you meet a lot of people.
Right.
You go to those events, you meet people, you find useful ways to pair together. I'm always referring business to people that I've met through networking.
Sure.
It's the way that things work. It's the best way.
And it's really nice. Exactly. I recommend businesses all the time. Somebody needs something, I usually know a business that they can go to.
Yeah.
And I'm a little biased, you might say. If they advertise on my website, then I really send everybody there.
Oh, sure. You want to do business with people who do business
That's
with you.
correct. I do business with people that do business with me. So if you are a venue that is doing business on Call Me Oz, whether it's somebody finding a place to sing, I am going to send people to the venues that are advertising on my website
Right.
before I send them to one that isn't. If somebody needs tax preparation, obviously I'm going to send them to you.
I'm your guy.
Right? So that's the way it works. So we're going to talk a little more about that in a minute. So I told you about Ribs. They've added Tuesday nights. They are also kicking off their music on the patio. This is going to happen on also Saturday, March 23rd, from 6 to 9 p.m. There is a band out of Belen, a local band. It's called the Gershon Brothers. Pretty awesome band. They have a lot of their own stuff, and they have their music is kind of like not really. I don't want to say classic rock. More like I don't know, like 70s, 80s rock is kind of what it is. Very localized band. They're getting ready to hit the road. They're going on tour through Arizona and California. So they're doing what's called the send-off tour at Ribs in Los Lunas
that's sweet.
on the 23rd. Yes. So mark your calendar, especially if you're down south. Great place to go and have a good time. Then Camino Real Winery and Tap Room has their karaoke competition continuing. Every Saturday they qualify 2 people to come back to the semifinals on May 11th, and then they will whittle that down to the top 12 to come back on May the 18th, where first place winner will win $800 cash, second place winner will be $400 cash, third place winner will be $200 cash, winner will be $100 cash.
That's real money.
That is real cash. And $800 is nothing to sneer about for
No,
singing a song.
That'll go a long way.
Yeah.
That's 5 minutes for $800 is
Not too shabby.
that's a good rate.
And
I'll take it.
all you have to do to get involved in the competition is show up at Camino Real Winery and Tap Room on a Saturday by 7 o'clock, and you sign up to be in the competition that night.
Now, where is Camino Real?
Camino Real Winery and Tap Room is in Los Lunas. It's when you come down Main Street off of I-25, right after you cross the railroad tracks, you hang a left, and it takes you into a little strip center, and that's where it is.
All right.
So,
Easy to get to.
yes. And if anybody needs to know they can go to Call Me Oz, click on Featured Events, and that takes you to the page that has
And it's right there.
everything right there. Yeah, and then if you click on the picture, it takes you to the Facebook event. So, yeah, we make it pretty easy for you.
Couldn't get simpler than that.
Nope. And then, of course, there's JC's New York Pizza Department, which we already talked about. The New Mexico State Fair so far is cranking up. Man, we are getting ready for this season. Actually, we're not ready, but we'll be ready by the time it's time to happen. I say that because in my meeting with my admin yesterday, we were looking at the big list of stuff that's got to be done, and we're just like, oh.
Now, the state fair starts much later on, so you're really planning pretty far in advance, aren't you?
So the state fair is September 5th through the 15th. But before that, we have to find the top 96 adult singers in the entire state of New Mexico.
That's got to be hard.
And then we've got to find the top 12 minors in the state of New Mexico.
And there will be hundreds of applicants.
We're expecting 300 to 400 this year. Last year we had 220. We're expecting a massive increase because we've added 7 satellite venues. These venues are like in Las Vegas and Taos and Pewaukee, Santa Fe,
That's smart.
and these places are going to qualify 2 people, and they're going to send them to the fair from these smaller towns. And so we're
Rural
going to see
New
more.
Mexico is so underserved for things like that, for
Right.
finance, for really all kinds of businesses that just can't penetrate out that far. So the more reach you have in those rural communities, I'm sure you'll dig up some real gold nuggets.
I think so. Shoot, we've had, believe it or not, several of our best singers have come from other towns. In 2016, our champion was from Farmington. In 2015, our champion was from Mescalero. So they hear about it and they come, but instead of, like if you're in Las Vegas, New Mexico, which we had people drive from Las Vegas last year to try out in Albuquerque to
Sure.
get to the fair. We had people from Taos come down. We had people from Santa Fe coming. This year, people that live in Santa Fe can try out right in Santa Fe. People that live in Taos can try out in Taos at the Alley Cantina. Las Vegas, the Skillet Restaurant. These are places.
I like the Skillet.
Have you been to the Skillet?
Oh yeah, because I'm always going north to Colorado for training and
Oh,
stuff.
perfect.
So I
Cool.
always stop there.
So is it good food?
Oh yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Nice. Well,
And good food is hard to find in little towns, especially highway towns. So it's, Las Vegas has one real gem in it, and that's the Skillet, I think.
good to know. Well, there you go, Isaac. That's good to know. And I found out about the Skillet from the owner of JC's New York Pizza Department because he has a location in Vegas as well.
Oh, really?
Yes, with a bowling alley.
I have to check that out.
Yes, they have a bowling alley. So they do karaoke at the Skillet every Thursday night. Alley Cantinas every Wednesday night. Hub City Brewing is going to do the Belen audition. We're still waiting on confirmation out of 2 venues. One is in Santa Fe, one is in Espanola. As soon as we have those 2 locked up, we'll be completely done.
That's fantastic.
So by next week, you should be able to go to the website and have all the venues listed as far as when they're going to do the auditions. I will tell everybody who they are. Lucky 66, as we know. The Miners audition at Haynes Park in Rio Rancho. Camino Real Winery and Tap Room. Zulo's Bistro. Billiards Palace. The Golden Cantina at Cities of Gold in Pewaukee. Effing Bar and Grill. Fiestas Cantina. Mariscos Altamar in Los Lunas. Leo's Nightclub. Kiltcheck Brewing in Albuquerque. So those are all the what are called the primary venues. They will be qualifying 8 or 10 people. And then we have the satellites, which are all the other ones that are still going on. So that is where we are.
Cool.
What a crazy week.
I'm really surprised how much karaoke there is going on in Albuquerque just every day, all the time. It's
Yes.
That's cool.
There's a lot. I think we're up to like 30 or 32 venues at this point.
It's getting big.
It's getting big, and it
How
just
long have you
keeps
been doing
growing.
that?
So I've been singing karaoke for 19 years, and Call Me Oz is now
14 or 15 years old, yeah.
no. The website is only 8 years old. Yes. Yeah. I started the website because we started a karaoke competition at the Barley Room, and that's
Well,
how
I think
it
it's smart because in a lot of cases, if you want to go do karaoke or you just want to go to an event, you just want to get out of your house and do something, that's not one of those things that's easy to just dredge up on the internet. Where can I do karaoke?
Right.
So having one central location, one website that you can go to and say, okay, there's comedy going on, there's a concert, there's karaoke, there's something to do every night. That's great.
Yeah, and that's just how it became developed, and it became developed that way exactly like what you said. It was a find a place to sing. It only started by doing the Barley Room karaoke competition, but people kept asking me. They would text me all the time. Well, hey, where's karaoke tonight? It's Tuesday. Where's karaoke? And honestly, I only went to a few venues at that time, so I only knew of a few. And then as this became more and more popular, I figured out, well, there's a need for this. And that's when I started investigating. And so would tell me, well, karaoke is at Retro. And so I'd go to Retro.
No, I
and,
miss that place.
and I'd be like, yeah, there is karaoke at Retro every night.
Retro was right down Constitution from my office. Is 3,000 feet away from my
Right? And so I'd figure that out. And then people would, oh, well, there's karaoke at such and such place. And I would go confirm it. And that's kind of how that all developed. And then it became the whole comedy scene, the open
Right.
mic comedy scene became the same situation. And then it was even live music. It was the same situation. There really wasn't good, reliable sources for any of this information.
Right.
Nowhere. And even to this day, if you Google karaoke in Albuquerque, above us, you will see the national companies called Karaoke Listing USA and this, that, and the other. And you will go to those sites, and 90% of the information is incorrect.
But they pay for big money advertising
That's
on
correct.
Google because they have the budget.
And actually, like, so those places, you know how SEOs work. Those places, you will see that they do not advertise on Google, but they're at the top of the list.
Right.
So we know what they're doing. They're paying somebody to sit there all day long and hit a keyboard going ching, 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 just so they rise up. And, but unfortunately, the information's incorrect. Alibi is usually right above us, and I'm going to give them a little more credit. About 50% of their information is correct. So,
But you make a profession of making it perfect. And
exactly. Yeah, we stay on top of it. Like, you might go and the venue might have stopped doing karaoke or they changed it, but that's because it just happened within the last 3 or 4
sure.
days. That's how close we are. About 3 to 4 days is about how accurate we are on that stuff. So, so we kind of talked about how Call Me Oz and Liberty Tax Service
Right.
connected. It was very, very interesting. Of course, Tisha and Caveman have been working for you for how long?
Well, Tisha has been working for us. This is her 8th tax season and 9th for Mark. He's been in it every bit as long as I have. And Tisha has done every job in the company. She's been a sign spinner. She's worked in my call center. She's now a tax preparer and really one of the very best that we have. She's worked in every location that my family owns. And my mom owns 4 stores in Albuquerque, 2 on the west side and 2 up here on the east side, and I own 1 outright here on the east side. But there are other Liberty Tax franchises as well. There's other owners that have all been in business since, I think the earliest one is 2008.
Wow. That's been around a while.
Yeah, and it's a national franchise. There's Liberty Taxes in Canada and all over the United States, but the difference between filing with the Liberty and filing with really any of my corporate competition is that we are a franchise, and that means that I pay something to corporate for the use of the branded things and the software. But at its core, it's a family business. We own it, and it's our names on everything, so it all has to be perfect.
Right,
You know.
right. Exactly. And that's what makes the difference between
That's right.
a corporation and a franchisee.
That's right. Tax
Exactly.
is all I do. So if I did shoddy tax returns and I got an injunction from IRS, it would be a big deal. It would be federal fraud. If I got canned from an H&R Block for, and not to disparage my competition at all, but if I got canned from an H&R Block for doing shoddy tax returns, I could go to work in a call center next week and it would all be fine.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different. It's our butts on the line here, and that means that we have to personally ensure perfection. It's a little different standard.
Right. That's what I was going to say is, when your name is personally on that line, you definitely look at it a lot
That's right.
differently. I know that for myself too.
I'm fond of saying to my business owner friends that there are 2 kinds of people in the world: those who sign the front of checks and those who sign the back of checks. And when you sign the front of the check, it's a little different responsibility.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So you had mentioned, technically it's a family owned
That's right.
business because this started with your mom.
That's right. We started the business together in 2010, and I was an Army reservist at that time. I spent 6 years in the Army, and during that time, my mom got laid off from her job at Comcast. Excuse me. And we, it was 2010. The economy had crashed, and Albuquerque was kind of in the dumps. So it was hard to find a good job. at that time, and we looked at, okay, well, what else could we do? Could we start a business with the money that we've saved up? And as it turned out, we could. So we opened 2 stores our first year, which was suicidally crazy. And,
Right.
we
That is.
worked every hour the stores were open for 3 years without taking days off.
Wow.
And that's what it means.
Yeah.
But we grew it from 2 stores that first year to 5.
Right.
And together we do about 3,000 returns a year. So we have clients that come back every year and people that come from all over the country. You were mentioning that you get draw from other cities in New Mexico, like Farmington and Tucumcari, and we often see customers that drive 8, 9, 10 hours to come see us, which
Wow.
it means that they're driving past 200 or 300 other tax offices that they could file in, and I take that for the compliment it is that they want to come to me.
Exactly. And now, I think that when people hear tax services, a lot of times they automatically think the people who get refunds, the individuals.
Sure.
But you guys go beyond that, right?
That's right. So it's not just people that need to file their taxes. Of course, businesses have books that need to be done. They have receipts that need to be categorized. And say you're a small business person that, I don't know, let's say you're a carpenter and you're damn good at making tables, but do you know how to put together your books in a way that I think will look at them seriously? Maybe not. So if you file with a professional, you take your bag of receipts, which this is, I'm not really kidding here. We really do see trash bags of receipts and banker boxes and things, and I'm sure some of my customers are chuckling right now. You bring me a bag of receipts that has no organization and no pattern and say, look, I have no idea what's in here. Have fun. And what's going to come back to you is paper clipped and organized receipts that are categorized and double checked, and you're going to get a profit and loss statement that you can walk into a bank and actually show them and say, hey, I can qualify for a business loan with this type of information. We get your taxes straight. If you have a problem with gross receipts or you have a problem with something else like that, there's a billion little things that business owners all have to do.
Right.
We're just going to help you keep that stuff straight. You don't have to worry about the business side of your business if you have somebody that's got your back that is going to look at all that, and that's what we do.
And he is definitely speaking on that one because, when you go into business, I think a lot of people do this. They go into business because they're going into business doing something that they love to do. You might be somebody that likes to cook.
Right.
And so you decide you're going to open a restaurant or you're going to open a bakery or you're going to do this, you're going to do that. There is so much more to a business than doing just what you like to do.
Oh, yeah.
It's not that easy. Even Call Me Oz has an incredible amount of paperwork and an incredible amount of taxes. And I mean, the taxes are just astronomical. We deal with gross receipts taxes.
Right.
Because we have employees, we are dealing with income tax, all kinds of income taxes.
There's 7 different taxes that small business owners pay.
I was
and
gonna
I'll
say.
outline that. There's federal income tax, state income tax, New Mexico gross receipts tax, which is really just a tax on the profits of businesses.
Right.
There's Social Security and Medicare tax. And then, of course, there's the state unemployment payroll taxes that, we both pay those, and that's part of the deal with having employees is that you pay 7 different taxes.
Right.
And then if you're a franchise like I am, you also pay royalties and payroll and rent and utilities and advertising, and it just goes on and on.
Yes.
You just hemorrhage the money and pray you don't bleed out.
And he is definitely speaking the truth about that. When you bring $100 into a business, if you really think that you're going to keep very much of that,
Oh, no.
you are out of your mind.
And everything
You know?
in business costs $1,000. It just does.
It just does, yeah. It doesn't matter what it is. This is $1,000.
Yeah,
Gotta
you
be-
guys are laughing because you know too. Literally everything. And
Yeah.
It's like walking into Costco. They may as well just deprive you of $200 when you walk in the door. Just here you go.
Yep.
Take my money and don't hurt me, please.
Right. So we're definitely speaking to you business owners out there that,
right.
man, I know so many of you. I know so many of you small business owners, and I know you know what I'm talking about here. So You do what you do very well. If you are a KJ or a DJ and you run entertainment services, you do it very, very well. I know you do. But I will bet, I am willing to bet that you don't know nothing about the tax end of it or the bookkeeping end of it and stuff like
And the
that.
devil's in the details with those things. It's really easy to just let it go. And I see people all the time that come into my office and say, "Hey, guess what I haven't done in 7 years?" Well, bet it's taxes. Those kind of 10-year projects, it gets away from you. You know,
Yeah.
you get into business or you have some life change and you don't do your taxes the 1 year, and you go, "Ah, to hell with it, I'll just do it next year." And then 2 years turns into 5, and then before you know it, you've got a letter.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is that the IRS sends these letters that are almost blackmail, that have nothing to do with anything. Like, I'll just tell a brief story. I had a client that invented something, and it was kind of cool. It was like a water desalinization thing. It was meant to create seawater concentrate for makeup. So he put on his taxes in 2005 that he was a research lab. And so then he never filed his 2006 or any year thereafter. So all IRS knew was that this research lab started in 2005 and then never filed another tax return. And one of the fascinating things about it is that they have this system of demographics. The IRS knows everything about everybody. They know what type of income you're going to have, what type of expenses you're going to have. They have averages for all of it.
Mm-hmm.
So they took an average of what every research laboratory in the country made in 2006 and sent this guy a letter that says, "Hey, we think that you made $500,000 and you owe us $126,000 and you have 2 weeks to respond." So,
Nice.
of course, those types of letters are fun when you
Right?
get them. And so he walked into my office like, "Help me, please." And it turned out that he owed about $600 and not $126,000. So
Wow.
these things, you know, if you'd be shocked how many people just get the letter and mortgage their house and pay it
Right.
and never
Right.
talk to a professional, and it's just sinful. You should always get a second opinion if you're in deep with the IRS or you think you are.
Absolutely, and I'm going to speak something from experience here. I've actually been one of those people that if you send me a letter and you say that I owe you money, the first thing that I'm going to say to you is, "Well, prove that. Where do I owe you money from?" So I'm going to tell you this funny little story about the state of New Mexico.
Oh, this is going to be fun already.
So I have another business, a chemical business, and so I derive commissions off of that. And so about every 2 years, I've got their cycle down perfect. So every 2 years, they send me this really nice letter that says, "Hey, we just happened to notice that you didn't pay gross receipts taxes on your commissions." And I understand there are certain laws in New Mexico, right?
Right.
That you're supposed to pay gross receipts taxes on your commissions, but there are a few exceptions. And so I just look at their letter and I say, "Okay, no, I don't owe you any money.
Because
it-
the company that's providing you the commissions has already paid the tax.
It is out of state." And so we get into this big battle about it and blah, blah, blah. And finally, they send me a letter that says, "After reviewing your case, you do owe us this $4,000 in gross receipts taxes." And so then I just simply say, "Okay, I'm going to protest this." So I protest it, and I think really the reason why they don't pursue it further is simply because it's not like 10 or 20 or $100,000, you know. And that's, but basically what I'm saying is, more than anything else, is I am definitely more the exception than the rule when it comes to people getting letters from the IRS or from the state.
They're scary, though.
They're scary, and I will tell you this, in most cases, don't do what I do. What I would recommend doing if you get a scary letter like that is go see this guy.
It's really what I do day in and day out.
It's because it's sort of like, if you want to know a karaoke place, you're probably going to come ask me where to go do karaoke
Right.
at.
I'm
if
not
you've
gonna
got
bother
taxes, go to this guy. Right?
Yeah, I'm not going to bother Google with that. I'm just going to Send you a text, say, hey, where can I do karaoke?
Yeah.
Or go to your website
Right. Or go to the website and get the information because it's already there.
and see my beautiful ads up on your website.
That's correct. Yes, you
They
will
look great,
see.
by the way. Thank
Do
you.
you like that?
Yeah, I do.
I think they came out very nice. I like the way Renee tweaked it just a little bit, and they're just, yes, they pop very nicely.
And that deductions done right message is important. A lot of people have no idea how that works.
Right.
How the fact that anything that a business spends within reason on things that are necessary for the business are all deductible. But how you categorize that, how you track all those deductions, that's all more art than science.
Let me ask you this.
Sure.
A lot of people use TurboTax. So what is the difference between Liberty Tax and TurboTax?
Sure. I think the most important thing, first off, is that it's just not the safest thing you can do with your information to put it on the internet. TurboTax is a piece of software that's been around for a very long time, and they've dolled it up and revamped it and modernized it, for the new tax law, but it's not really current software, first of all. And again, not to disparage my competition, because almost everyone will look at TurboTax as our competition, but it's just not the safest thing you can do, and it's kind of the cheap stuff as software goes. You get what you pay for in the wide world, and software is one of those things. So the first and most important thing is just that there's nobody to tell you that your taxes are right or wrong if you file it yourself. And what IRS tells us is that about 50% of all tax returns done at home are incorrect to some degree or another, that there are correctable errors in about half of all tax returns done at home. My franchise tracks an error rate of about 0.5%, which is to say that of the 900 some clients that we do a year, I may have 3, 4, maybe 5 tax returns that we need to correct for a missing W-2 or just some little thing.
Yeah.
So we take training our people and making sure that we're current on the law, making sure that our software is up to date. We take all of that really seriously. And if you file your taxes yourself, you run the risk of having your information stolen.
Right.
In 2016, TurboTax's database was breached. And when it was breached, the federal government funded about 6 million fraudulent tax returns before they figured out there was a problem.
Wow.
So in New
Jeez.
Mexico, there were 280,000 some related fraud cases, which is about a fifth of the state's population and most of the labor force. Really, everyone's information that was worth stealing in 2016 got stolen in the TurboTax data breach, which this is a big problem. It took the state of New Mexico 1.5 years to get through all those audits, and when they did, it's still a big mess. There are a lot of people that the IRS and the state are paying extra close attention to make sure that their information actually is right, that they are who they say they are. My office has been swamped with letters from the state saying, we need more information, send us a copy of your W-2. And that's about making sure that you are who you say you are. If your information was stolen in 16, if your tax return was associated with TurboTax in that year, you're probably getting a letter from the state, and that's why.
Wow. Good to know. That is very interesting. And if your 50% has a mistake, I mean, if you're expecting a refund, you may have just taken money out of your pocket for that.
Right, and there's a lot of money on the line.
Yeah.
In a lot of cases, somebody with a normal New Mexico family shape, maybe they're married or they're a single parent, they've got a couple of kids, they're making $10,000 to $20,000 a year. These are people that the government is going to give a lot of help to. That child tax credit, which is now $2,000 a child, that goes to those people. Earned income credit in those cases can be $4,000, $5,000, $6,000. So getting it right means knowing that you're going to get that money no problem.
Right.
And getting it right sometimes means you got to pay somebody to look at it.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense too. So do you have any special offers going on right now, or?
Oh, sure. Small business people really tend to file in March and April. And so what we're looking for is we're looking for somebody that's never filed with the Liberty Tax before. If you are a small business person and you've always filed your own taxes and you're worried that they might be wrong, because a lot of things have changed this year. The tax forms are all different.
Right.
All of the credits are all different.
There's a lot of changes this year.
Right. Lots of little things have been tinkered with. if you're a new customer to me and you're a small business person like that, I'll do your taxes for $200 flat. No questions asked, no matter how big it is.
Wow.
No matter how crazy it is. You bring me a brand new tax return you've never filed in Liberty before, I'll do your stuff for $200.
That is actually a really good deal. What is the regular
is.
rate?
Normal rate is $350 to $500 for those types of returns, and
Yeah.
you got to understand that we're also taking in people that, you know, like I said, the trash bag full of receipts. If that's a
Right.
$500 return, you're darn right it is, because we're going to spend a week on it ourselves, categorizing those receipts, you know, and telling other clients, hold on, I need to do this project first.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they take priority in our office, and I want to make sure that those are perfect because those relationships stay.
Yeah, that definitely makes a lot of sense. Definitely makes a lot of sense. So, well, I'm glad you've been able to be on the show here today.
Me
Got
too.
anything else to say?
Well, most importantly, you know, we wanted to touch on just a couple of little things. Filing your taxes with a professional means, again, that it's right. I guarantee my work and the work of my people against any fault. So if there's a problem with your return, I fix it. If you pay penalty or interest on a return that I've done, I pay that. It's not the same as filing yourself. So
Wow.
if you
Good to
are a
know.
first-time person, I'd love to meet you, and I look forward to seeing anybody that comes from the show.
Good deal. Well, there you guys go. So, $200 to do that.
It's a great deal.
That's a really good deal.
And I'm sure my store manager is going to yell about this one when she sees it.
Probably.
It'll be all right.
I can't believe you did that. What are you doing with that? So, well,
Gonna
not
drive
only
my
is
average down. Well,
not only is tax season coming to an end, not only is karaoke season beginning, spring is coming.
spring is coming.
St. Patty's Day is coming.
Oh God, that's Sunday, isn't it?
Saturday, isn't it? Is it Sunday?
I don't know how it got to be March already. The days have just blurred together, you know, because we're in that office 60, 70 hours a week from September to May.
Right.
You know, ramping up for tax season, training our people, because I put on a 10-week tax class that teaches people how to do taxes on a professional level. It's not just here's a 1040, but how all the forms and schedules play together, how the laws apply to people, and that takes time and finesse to learn. So we take 4 months to train people for 4 months of work. That's the standard.
That is crazy. That is super, super crazy.
Ends up being about 125 hours per student, worth 25 credit hours of continuing ed per year. I could have gotten a master's degree in taxation in the time I've been doing it.
Wow. That is really crazy. Well, do you know why women do not get engaged on St. Patty's Day?
Tell me why women don't get engaged on St. Pat's.
Because they don't want to get shamrocked.
Oh, that CZ. I like it. I like it.
Just saying, if you ever want to hear some really good dad jokes, just go see this guy.
I got him.
Yeah.
I got him.
He was telling plenty of them before the show started, so yeah. So you
Some
guys,
of them are a little dark for this.
that's okay. It's okay. It's okay to be dark. There's nothing wrong with that. It's all right. You don't appreciate the light if it's not dark.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Well, do you know why dark humor is like food, Oz?
I really don't.
Not everyone gets it.
Ooh, I could say something to that, but I won't. Because this is a family-friendly show.
It is. It's a family-friendly show, and everyone's welcome.
So I will not say that, but I'll just let y'all read my mind, and I will pet my microphone.
Gently.
Jen-
Watch it. No.
Larry's like, don't touch the microphone. So it's really awesome. We have quite a few sponsors that sponsor us on the website. Of course, Liberty Tax Service is one of them. And then we have some sponsors that sponsor this show. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, it's a little bit on the different side. We have these things called pop-out ads, which Red Velvet Underground and Effing Bar and Grill do these pop-out ads. They're pretty cool. They just kind of pop out during the middle of the show and whatnot. And then we have the commercials, which you saw the commercials,
I did.
which is Double L Media, Twisted Arbor, and Drastic Entertainment. So those are all awesome folks. It takes many businesses to keep Commiaz alive, believe it or not.
Sure.
I mean, it takes a lot more money than people think it does. And because of that, of course, takes advertisers and sponsors like you. So we appreciate all of them.
And as hard as you work with all of the people that come together to make your show a success, you know it takes time and it takes effort to build something like that. You never take your eye off it.
Never.
How long have you been in small business in total, Oz?
Well, I've really been in small business all my life.
Sure. Did you know when you were a kid that you just weren't cut out to work for the man?
Absolutely.
Me
When
too.
I was 15 years old, I grew up in the country. I lived way out in the country. I lived on 10 acres of land, and there's very few houses out there. There was a lady that
It'd have been a
moved
great
in.
way to grow up.
Oh, yeah. Where I grew up was ultimate. There was this lady that moved in across the street. She had 5 acres of land, and she was a Buddhist. And the way she put it to me was her mission in life was to provide a hospitable service for the Buddhists, the monks, and things like that when they came to Santa Fe to have a place to stay and meditate and stuff like that. So her plan was her house was to be a temple. So she had contractors build the temple, but then after that, she wanted a Japanese courtyard in this property.
Sounds
and
ruinously expensive to me.
she had a lot of money, and then she wanted a gazebo where they could go in and meditate under
Me
the
too.
stars. And so at 15 years old, she hired me to work for her, and I worked 5 hours a week at $5 an hour, and that was my very first job. And it was, I think, what set my mind to be a self-employed person. And I did. From there, she had another friend who needed yard work every week, so I started doing her yard, and then she gave me another friend that did a couple hours a week. And before I knew it, when I was 16 years old and I got a driver's license, and my parents let me use their car, I used to drive around Santa Fe in this car with rakes and shovels and lawnmowers. And
We got enough time for a short story. So
yeah, yep. So
When,
that's how I started, and so I've been in small business all my life.
when I was a kid, I had this old computer, right? And so my mom, I asked her for a new computer. I must have been 8 or 9 years old, you know, and we didn't have enough money, and so she said, well, I can't get you a computer, but I can give you this lawnmower. So she gave me one of those old school pushing lawnmowers, you know what I mean, with the little whirly blades on it. So we lived in this little neighborhood that had a bunch of old people in these little tiny yards, kind of off, still, you know, right over here off Eubank. And so I was a kid, and it was the summer, and so I just went around to my neighbors and I knocked on their doors and I said, hey, I'll keep your lawns looking perfect for $20 a week. And that spiraled into something big, and I made, you know, $3,500 in 1997 money,
Wow.
which was, you know, I was as a kid, and
Yeah.
so it was a cool experience, and I got bitten by the self-employment bug early. I knew right then that, you know, none of my other friends made $3,000 in the summer. They all still
Right.
had allowances from their parents. And
Right.
I always decided
$100
that
a
I wanted
month.
to have enough money to buy whatever I wanted and have my own money, and so I've always worked since I was 9, 10 years old.
And the funny thing about being self-employed is there are times that you just don't make money.
It's true.
There's actually a lot of times you don't make money, and you really struggle, and sometimes you wonder where your next $20 bill is coming from. But I think, like, for me, the reason I keep doing it is I really enjoy the freedom of my life.
Yeah.
And I enjoy like I have worked for companies before where I clock in and stuff like that, and it's just not for me. I just can't do that. I struggle with it really bad. I struggle with, you know, not being able to do what I want to do when I need to do it.
Sure.
So I've always just been self-employed.
Well, if you think about it, the upside of business is unlimited, where if you work 20, 30, 40 years for a company, you might retire with $120,000, $150,000 a year, and that's enough to keep you comfortable. If you think about, okay, what would I do with 10 grand a month? Lots of stuff.
Yeah.
There's lots of fires you can put out with that money, but that is chump change in the business world.
Yeah, it really is, and that's where I'm striving for. With what I plan to do with Call Me Oz, I should be able to very comfortably retire in 7 years.
Well, I'm looking
and
forward
be
to seeing
done.
you do it.
Yes, well, thank you very much, and I definitely will be doing that. And even like the chemical company I work for, which, yeah, I work for them, but I think the only reason I've worked for them for so long is they don't watch me. They don't, as long as I am turning in the sales that they need to see, they really don't care what I do. They don't care where I do it. They don't. I see my manager once a year at a sales meeting for a little bit. That's about it. So,
That's not bad.
yeah, so that's a very good company that I work for. So, alrighty, well, we're gonna jump offline here and wish you all an amazing week again. Make sure you join us next Wednesday at 6 p.m. live. My guest will be Chris Raven, very well musician here in Albuquerque. Many people know him. He does all the event coordination for Red Velvet Underground, and he is a really amazing musician. He's going to come on the show next week, and he's going to even play a couple of songs for us, from what I
Nice.
understand.
Well, thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for coming on. Appreciate you. You guys have a great night. Happy Hump Day.